Welcome back to the channel. This is Born Winners Network. It's a channel that's created to talk about all types of stuff. Trying to get into a groove again. And it's quite a challenge, man, because the world of streaming has definitely changed. But nonetheless, I'm not going to do a lot of chatter, just going to give you a few minutes of some good content and, get things rolling. All right. Coffee is brewing, and you get my sip of water, and then we'll find a location or a spot that we can chit chat for a few minutes and just begin to do what we're supposed to do. All right. So get yourself ready. I hope that you're going to enjoy this morning's content. I think it's going to be good based on just the approach that I am going to be taking. When I first started this channel, it was mainly music, and then talk. All right. Talking about winning, talking about overcoming, talking about being successful in life and things that you do, and just really just addressing topics without any filter. Of course, with some good music. You can go back through the videos. There are quite a few videos on the channel, and check out what my approach has been over the years. So now I'm just trying to improve the channel and pretty much garner some more momentum. I'm not really sure if I'm going to be doing too much music, which is typically what I do, but we'll see. But for now, what's burning on my mind really has to do with how religion and Christianity is or has been impacting the world, especially as the world is going through so many issues right now. And I mean, many of you may agree or disagree that the world is going through issues. I've heard some folks say that, the world is coming to an end. And that's the diehard Christians that have that approach or have that opinion. I'm still trying to figure that out, right? Still trying to figure it out. And I don't want to sound, well, I do want to sound like the person who sees things from a different perspective, yeah? Because all my life, that's what I've been taught, that the world is going to end. And if you don't get saved, you're going to go to hell. And so in this rebranding of the channel, I'm trying to take a different spin on things, right? Not that I don't believe, but I wanna go deeper. I really want to go deeper, and I really want to understand what is truth from what is made up, right? Really want to understand, because some things just are a little confusing to me. But nonetheless, I like to do my morning inspiration, and I want to start sharing that with you on the platform. And so for today, and I'm reading it, the morning inspiration, it says, "Let me prepare you for the day that stretches out before you. I know exactly what this day will contain, whereas you have only vague ideas about it. You would like to see a map showing all the twists and turns of your journey. You'd feel more prepared if you could somehow visualize what is on the road ahead." And that's true. A lot of us, we don't like surprises, yeah? However, there is a better way to be prepared for whatever you will encounter today. Spend quality time with me. Now, this is a religious book, and it's saying to spend quality time with your creator, spend quality time with God, right? And that's important, right? When you believe in a being that is higher than yourself and you want to get into a relationship with that being, right? It's just like a relationship, yes? When you are married, dating, courting, you're in a relationship. In order to get to know that your partner, you have to spend time, especially in the beginning of the relationship, because, and I mean, many of you should be able to relate if you're dating, right? In the beginning, everything is fresh, everything is new, and you spend a lot of time talking for hours. Some of us in our younger days, not telling my age, you spend time on the phone, fall asleep, drool all over your mouth, and then you get up the next morning, you're like, man, I fell asleep on the phone, and then hello, and she's probably asleep, but that is the sacrifice and the process of getting to know someone. You spend quality time with them, right? You go on walks, you go on dates, and so on and so forth. And of course, the honeymoon phases end. It always ends in a relationship. And they're like, oh, you don't take me on dates anymore. You don't do this. You don't do. It's not that. It's just that I'm kind of used to you now. So moving on. I will not show you what is on the road ahead. So the script is saying that God is not going to show you what's on the road ahead, but I will thoroughly equip you for the journey. My living presence is your companion each step of the way. Stay in continual communication with me, right? Always keep, for those of us who believe in God, I believe in God. It's just that I want to know more about God. So because I believe in God, right? Because you believe in God, you have to stay in continual communication. Everything that you do, you say, well, Lord, should I do this? Should I say this? Should I go here? Should I, so on and so forth, right? So stay in continual communication with me, whispering my name whenever you need to redirect your thoughts. Thus, you can walk through this day with your focus on me. My abiding presence is the best roadmap available. And then I have about 2 verses here, that will kind of help to deepen our meditation today. And the first verse is from Exodus chapter 33 and verse 14. It says, the Lord replied, in quotes, my presence will go with you and I will give you rest. And the second is from St. John 15, verse 4 through 7. Remain in me and I will remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. If a man remains in me and I in him, he will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If anyone does not remain in me, he is like a branch that is thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up, thrown into the fire, and burned. If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be given to you. If you remain in the vine, ask whatever you wish, and it will be given to you. That is powerful, right? Honestly, how many of you are just searching for the truth? I was watching, I think it's CNN or ABC yesterday, and they were saying that there's an uptick in church attendance, especially the Catholic Church, for the young generation. A lot of them are running to the church now because one young man that they interviewed, he said, he realized that spending a lot of time on the phone has made him depressed. He's dealing with anxiety issues and all this other stuff. He's just, it has pulled him away from human contact because contact has now become, of course, technology, right? And you can see it from adults to babies, are so magnetized by their tablets, by electronic devices, that they really have disconnected from their social skills. And even this streaming stuff here, it is taking society to a place where socializing in person is no longer the norm. So what a lot of young people at this particular university have realized is that, man, I need to get out of my room. I need to get off of the social media platforms, and they're just flocking to the Catholic churches. And I think, if my memory serves me correct, there was, over the last few services, right, they've seen an uptick in a couple hundred people going to the churches. Now, nothing wrong with that at all. It's just that I've done it all my life. I've done it all my life, and now I want to go deeper. I want to connect the dots on a more spiritual level to really to know God, right? So the other night I was sitting in my recliner and I was saying, God, I want to speak to you like I speak to somebody else, right? I want to have that, and I don't want to imagine that. And as we go on with these videos, and I don't want to make them very long, I hope to get to the point for real to experiencing that. And how many of you out there genuinely can say, I do have that relationship with God on a personal level? Or, to be honest with you, I've just kind of gone along with what I've learned, and I don't want to do that. And I have taught many, many Bible studies from Genesis to Revelation. And I've just come to a place where I want more. I want more. And so that is the path I'm on the Born Winners Network. And I hope that, many of you will join me on this journey. All right. Because there's more. There's more to Christianity. There's more to God. There's more, and I just want to get that more. All right. So I hope you enjoy this one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.